Today we're going to be talking about learning to take profits. Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, I'm Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Interesting week in the markets, lots of movement across the board in most of the major pairs. Lots of volatility sort of coming into the markets on some specific pairs, the pound yen, the New Zealand yen, a lot of the yen crosses, the US yen not so much. But one of the important parts of your approach to trading, so you've got number one, which markets you're going to trade. That could be, indexes, currencies, futures, shares, whatever that is. Once you've sort of narrowed that down to certain instruments, and even if you're trading multiple currencies, you start to develop an understanding or a knowledge base of the different sort of personalities and characteristics of each of the different pairs in terms of their daily ranges, the types of movement they may do, the gaps, the spreads, all the different things that are important for those in particular, your exchange rates. So if you're taking position sizing next, your money management, how that applies to each currency pair, your entry, your stop, how your approach to the market is in terms of the time frames, but also the exit component. Now, one of the things that I heard Bill McLaren talk about years ago, and Bill McLaren, if you haven't ever watched his videos, studying trading the fast moves, great set of videos. I'm not sure if they're still available, but Bill had been a Wall Street veteran for 40 years. He was an options trader, I believe, for most of that. But he talked about hand drawing his charts and submitting his charts to an older trader at that time who'd been around for 50, 60 years in the markets. And he called this gentleman up and he said, "What do you think about my trading? How do you think that I'm doing?" And the old trader said to him on the phone, he said, "Learn to take a profit." And he hung the phone up. And Bill McLaren was telling me this story, and it's always resonated in my head. Every time I exit a trade, he talked about, trying to get out of markets if you're long when they're screaming up or when they're going down, exiting as they're screaming down. Not necessarily getting out before the trend is well over, but getting out towards the end of the last blow-off move. Now, it's always a fine art to try and extract as much as you can from your winning trades. And it's a challenge. That's the true art and the mastery of trading. We know that trading mastery is a lifelong journey. We talk about this in the 7-step daily routine for high performance traders. If you haven't done so, go to my homepage. It's an audio file. Download it. You can take it wherever you go. You can listen to it. It's an MP3 file. But the purpose of that, and part of one of the components, is accelerating your learning. And I always talk about trying to lose less on your losing trades and profit more on your winning trades. So looking for these fine little edges where you can exit trades with the maximum amount of profit. Now, I had a trade this week in the New Zealand yen. I initially, I had a trade earlier in the week that I got out of that was a profitable trade in the Canadian dollar, and then I proceeded to watch it continue to trade over the next few days, more than double the distance of my the profit that I took out of the markets. Now, it's important to have a plan, to follow your plan, to stick to your trading plan, but at the same time, sometimes you make a call on a trade and you decide to for whatever reason, to take that profit off or to exit the trade. And I did that, and it was painful to continue to watch that because my earlier analysis from the end of day chart showed me that that was going to be a strong strong continuation of a measured move. Then I proceeded to take 3 weaker trades as I watched that Canadian dollar continue to trend in the direction that I was in, and they were less than optimal trade setups after the fact when I reviewed them, but nonetheless, I took 3 1-hour losses. And again, I emphasize, get yourself in the habit of being consistent at taking your losing trades in terms of position sizing and your stop loss amount. And the reason why that is that even though I was a little bit beat up by taking those 3 losses, I was able to get back into a trade, back long again on the New Zealand yen cross rate, which turned out to be a very strong move in an already strongly trending end of day market. Now that was a trade taken on the hourly charts. Now the next challenge that I had was that that trade moved at one point 6R, but I had a measured move target on that was approximately 8R. Now, as I went into the US session, I had to make a decision, and at that point I moved my stop loss, my trailing stop, up a little bit further, and I was still in the firm belief that that market would continue to overnight and hit my target. Now I woke up this morning to see that I'd been stopped out of where I moved my stop loss to, and it's painful to see you've left money on the table, and this is where the challenge sometimes in trading is. This was a Friday yesterday, and often reversals or profit taking may happen on a Friday after there's been a strong move earlier in the week, whereas the Canadian dollar was a trade that started at the beginning of the week and had the potential to continue to move. So these are little things that you have to sort of work out for yourself, and it's all part of the learning process. Now sometimes we will see trades continue to extend a measured move throughout the week right into Friday's close. And sometimes these are the decisions that you're going to have to make. Now I did take a portion of that profit off, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you have to make a decision that if you want to exit on Friday and be flat and take the money, that's something that you can do. You may want to get out on a shorter time frame. You may want to reduce some of the position sizing and leave a trailer in, whatever that is. But all of that is part of the trading process in terms of learning to take a profit. And again, I talk about this, you know, and using the edge wonk. I'm still getting my head around all the information that you can get from the edge wonk journal. If you haven't done so, download the free trial. That journal software is amazing. It's very easy to use. I'm trying to simplify my entry and data into that so that I can just tweak my numbers a bit. And I'm again just trying to tighten up my stops on my winning trades. And again, something Peter Brandt talked about is that I'm looking for trades that when they explode out of the gate, they continue to go. So I don't want to be caught into weak markets or choppy markets, and if I am, I want to be stopped out as soon as possible for the smallest loss possible. I know in my winning trades there's very little heat against my positions even on end of day. And these are just, again, little subtleties that you can work on in sharpening your edge with your trading system. And then the next component of that is with taking the profits, is trying to squeeze the most out of a winning trade as possible without getting too complicated. And that's part of the process of learning to take a profit. So hopefully you got some value from today's video, traders. Again, building confidence, discipline, and a winning mindset to master the markets is a lifelong journey, but it requires that daily routine of just sharpening your edge, goal setting, journaling your trades, accelerating your learning, setting goals, doing the things that winning traders do day after day after day in order to move in a direction of constant progress, and then practice, practice, practice. So stay disciplined, stay focused, and may the markets go with you. Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.